and people are really tuned into our game and what we can do, because the product has always been great. It's just that we haven't had people really pushing it. You didn't have to even explain that to Caitlin Clark. She understood what it was going to be like before she came into the league, and that we're not about to roll out the red carpet for you.
Did you see what Jonquel Jones just did? She's calling out Alyssa Thomas for bullying Caitlin Clark. This isn't just some Twitter drama, it's a full-on WNBA showdown. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Jones is risking her whole career to stand up for what's right. She's not holding back, exposing how Thomas went from doubting Clark's skills to physically roughing her up on the court. You won't believe what Jones said about that body check. It's like something straight out of WWE. You won't believe what just went down in the WNBA. Jonquel Jones and Alyssa Thomas, two former teammates, just had a collision that shook the whole league. Picture this. It's crunch time in the fourth quarter, everyone's on edge, and suddenly, bam! Jones and Thomas crash into each other going for a rebound. Now you're probably thinking, what's the big deal? It's basketball, right? But hold up, this isn't just any old contact. These two used to be thick as thieves when they played together. Best friends on and off the court. So why'd it get so physical? Let's break it down. After the hit, Thomas had to leave the game. The crowd lost their minds. Everyone was buzzing, trying to figure out what just happened. But here's where it gets wild. Jones swears it wasn't on purpose. Yeah, right. With all the drama that's been brewing, that's a tough sell. You know what's even crazier? This whole mess isn't just about one play.
You know, the hype from Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese playing in college, obviously, and having their fans kind of follow the league. You know, and so she understood that. We understood that it was never anything malicious. It was never any ill intent. It was just that we trying to win this game. And
it's about Jones standing up for Caitlin Clark, the rookie who's been making waves. Thomas has been giving Clark a hard time, and Jones isn't having it. She's risking her whole career to defend this new kid. Imagine that. You're at the top of your game, making big money, and you decide to put it all on the line for someone you barely know. That's what Jones is doing. She's calling out her old friend, exposing the bullying, and demanding change in the league. This is bigger than basketball now. It's about loyalty, friendship, and having the guts to stand up for what's right. Jones could have stayed quiet, kept her head down, and let Clark fend for herself. But nah, she chose to speak up even if it means making enemies. So now we're all wondering, what's next? Will the league step in? Is this the end of Jones and Thomas's friendship? And what about Clark? How's she handling all this drama? One thing's for sure. The WNBA's never going to be the same after this. Remember how we said the WNBA would never be the same? Well, a lot of that's thanks to one rookie who's turning the league upside down. Caitlin Clark's name is on everyone's lips, but not always for the right reasons. You think you know her story? Trust me, you've only scratched the surface. Let's talk about why everyone's losing their minds over Caitlin Clark. This girl isn't just good. She's rewriting the record books. Every game, she's dropping jaws and leaving defenders in the dust. But you know what? Some people can't handle it. They're straight up shook. Remember when Alyssa Thomas was all like, Clark can't hang in the W? Yeah, that aged about as well as milk in the sun. Now Clark's out here making vets look like they're playing in slow motion. It's wild. But hold up, it's not all smooth sailing for the rookie sensation. You want to know what's really messed up? Some so-called fans are using Clark as an excuse to spew racist garbage.
They want her to be the representation of their racism and you know, like their view on the world. I think that's why there was such big backlash when she liked the whole Taylor Swift post saying like vote for Kamala Harris, because
it's like they can't stand seeing a young star shine, so they're trying to dim her light with hate. That's not just wrong, it's straight up disgusting. Clark's trying to shut it down though. She's calling out the haters, saying all this negativity isn't what she's about. But the drama just keeps coming. It's like every time she steps on the court, someone's got something to say. So here's the million-dollar question. How is Caitlin Clark being targeted, and why does it matter? It's not just about missed shots or bad calls anymore. This is about respect, race, and the future of the WNBA. Clark's success is shining a spotlight on some ugly truths in women's basketball. Jonquel Jones is fed up with it all. She's saying the WNBA needs to step up and protect its players, not just with words, but with real action. Because right now, it feels like the league's moving slower than a turtle in molasses. This isn't just about basketball anymore, folks. It's about what kind of league the WNBA wants to be. Are they gonna let the bullies and racist fans run wild? Or are they gonna stand up for their players and show that hate has no place in the game?
And it always felt like it was from people that just don't know about sports or don't really understand sports, because you don't have to explain that to an athlete. Yeah, it was crazy. Just the whole narrative that was being pushed, like it's just like, nah, like.
One thing's for sure, Caitlin Clark's rookie season is forcing everyone to take a hard look at the WNBA. The league's at a crossroads, and what happens next could make or break women's basketball. So buckle up, because this ride's far from over. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The WNBA's got a serious issue on its hands, and it's getting uglier by the day. You've got players calling out racism left and right. Fans are getting way too heated. And the league? They're moving slower than a snail on vacation.
And people are really tuned into our game and what we can do, because the product has always been great. It's just that we haven't had people really pushing it. You didn't have to even explain that to Caitlin Clark. She understood what it was going to be like before she came into the league, and that we're not about to roll out the red carpet for you.
Imagine this. You're Alyssa Thomas, an 11-year veteran of the league. You've seen it all, right? Wrong. Thomas just dropped a bombshell, saying she's never experienced racial comments like the ones coming from Indiana Fever fans. That's insane. We're talking about a whole decade in the league, and now it's worse than ever? Jonquel Jones is fed up, and can you blame her? She's calling for the WNBA to step up and protect its players. But here's where it gets complicated. How do you balance fan excitement with player safety? It's like trying to juggle flaming basketballs while riding a unicycle. The league's trying. I'll give them that.
You know, like people were kind of, I would say, roughing her up and all that. I'm like, this is sports. These are competitors.
Yeah.
About like the sexism of it with the Caitlin Clark situation, and not about her.
They put out a statement saying they won't tolerate racist, derogatory, or threatening comments. Sounds good on paper, right? But some players don't think it's enough. Jones is straight up saying she hopes the WNBA gets it together and puts real actions in place. Not just talk, but actual steps to keep players safe. You know what's wild? All this drama might actually be good for ratings. People love controversy, and this story's got it all. But at what cost? We're talking about real people dealing with real hate. It's not just a game anymore. So what's the WNBA not doing to protect its players from bullying? That's the million-dollar question. They say they're monitoring threats and working with teams and arenas. But is that enough? Thomas doesn't think so. She's saying there's no time for this nonsense anymore. The players are tired of waiting. The league's at a crossroads, folks. What they do next could make or break women's basketball. Will they step up and make real changes? Or will they keep moving at a snail's pace while their players deal with this mess? One thing's for sure, the clock is ticking and everyone's watching. The ball's in your court, WNBA. What's your next move? While the WNBA's figuring out their next move, there's another player in this game that's stirring up trouble. The media's having a field day with all this drama, but are they telling the whole story? Jonquel Jones doesn't think so, and she's not holding back. You won't believe what Jones is saying about how the media's twisting this whole story. She's calling them out for focusing on drama instead of the actual basketball.
It's like if you're not watching the WNBA, you're missing out. You know, and so it's like the social aspect of the league has changed to where it's positive, and we competitors too, and we're here for a reason. And the amount of people that actually make it to the WNBA is very slim. So
it's like they're more interested in creating a reality show than covering the sport. Can you imagine? These players are out there breaking records and changing the game, but all we hear about is who said what on Twitter. But here's the thing, drama sells. Some media outlets are milking this controversy for all it's worth. They're turning every little disagreement into a headline, making mountains out of molehills. It's crazy. They're acting like the WNBA is some kind of soap opera instead of a professional sports league. You know what's getting lost in all this noise? The amazing things happening in women's basketball. TV ratings are through the roof. Attendance is skyrocketing.
As many viewers as possible, and I think they took the easy route versus like just telling the stories. And she's a player that can really affect how the game goes, whether we're successful or unsuccessful, and we got to get her out of the game.
The league's growing faster than ever. But are we hearing about that? Barely. It's like the media's got blinders on, only seeing the negatives. Jones is fed up with it. She's saying we need to reset how we talk about the WNBA. Instead of obsessing over controversy, why not celebrate the league's success? Imagine if every highlight reel play got as much attention as the latest Twitter beef. That'd be something, right? But here's the million-dollar question. Why is the media so obsessed with controversy instead of celebrating women's basketball success? Is it because drama gets more clicks? Or is there something deeper going on? Jones thinks it's time for a change, but will anyone listen? It's not just about fair coverage anymore. This is about respecting the game and the players who are pouring their hearts out on the court. The media's got a big role to play in how people see the WNBA. Right now, they're painting a picture that's all shadows and no light. But Jones is saying, enough is enough. It's time to show the world what women's basketball is really about: skill, passion, and non-stop excitement. So what's next? Will the media take Jones's words to heart and start focusing on the positives? Or will they keep chasing drama at the expense of the sport? One thing's for sure. The players aren't going to stay quiet anymore. They're demanding better, and it's about time someone listened. All right, let's wrap this up. The WNBA's on fire right now, but it's like a teenager going through some serious growing pains. You've got amazing players like Caitlin Clark breaking records left and right, but then you've got all this drama off the court. It's crazy. But here's the thing. It's time for everyone to step up. Players, fans, media, we all got to be part of the solution. Imagine if we spent as much time talking about those wild plays as we do about Twitter beef. That'd be something, right? The future of women's basketball is looking bright, but only if we can get our act together. We need to focus on the game, not the drama. It's like Jonquel Jones said, we need to reset how we talk about the WNBA. So let's do it. Let's celebrate the skills, the passion, and all the excitement. That's what this league's really about. Are you ready for that kind of WNBA? I know I am.